Personality is made up of a lot of varying factors. The way we think, feel, and behave will contribute massively to our character. It's this character that defines the way we see the world, and subsequently, our experiences, the opportunities we get, and even positive or negative emotions that occur in our lives. Having an optimistic, interesting, confident, or fun personality can be extremely beneficial to your quality of life, but can also contribute to the way others see you. So let's take a look at why your personality sucks and how to change it. First up, you're too negative. Having a negative outlook on life will not only cause problems for yourself, but it'll actively repel other people too. No one wants to be around a Debbie Downer, so much so that it can cause our friends, family, or work colleagues to dislike interacting with you. Negativity has a huge impact on your personality, and in turn, your life. Martin Seligman, a psychologist specializing in happiness and also the author of the book Learned Optimism, focuses his research on the concepts of negativity, known as pessimism, and its counterpart, positivity, referred to as optimism. Seligman states that pessimistic labels lead to passivity, whereas optimistic ones lead to attempts to change. In other words, being pessimistic in life won't help you to meet your goals or improve in any way. In fact, not only will more pessimistic people feel passive and stuck in their negative spiral, but they'll miss out on the confidence that being optimistic brings. Seligman theorizes that when we're confident, we can overcome obstacles, push forward, and be successful. And how do we become confident according to Seligman? We become more optimistic. In fact, being an optimistic and more positive person will give us the power to change from being a loser into being a winner in every aspect of our lives. The next reason your personality sucks is that you're boring. Or in other words, you don't have any opinions or interests. There's nothing worse than having a conversation with a brick wall. Someone who doesn't offer any form of back and forth in a conversation or just doesn't have anything interesting to offer. You don't need to be able to recite the entire Lord of the Rings saga and reference every little point where you think Frodo could have done better on his quest. But knowing more about a wide range of topics will help you to start forming ideas and opinions that'll get other people thinking. It can be difficult to know where to start, especially when a conversation takes a turn towards a topic you don't know about. Still, you don't need to know everything about everything to have interesting opinions. Start with consuming content about things you wouldn't normally do. Read a book in a genre you wouldn't usually go for. Listen to a new podcast, or get lost in a YouTube binge. Absorb as much as you can, and eventually, listening to others talk about their opinions and interests will make you want to form your own. In addition to expanding your knowledge, you could even consider enhancing your skill set and boosting your career prospects, something which can be done through Course Careers. Course Careers is a website that offers courses that will quickly enable you to learn a high-leverage skill, like software development, for example, that can quickly land you a new job with a starting salary of $70 to $90K per year. If this piques your interest and feels like the right step forward for you, check out the link in the description, which will allow you to get started for free and also get $50 off the full course, too. Knowing more and having more opinions will help you to have more interesting conversations with people. If you want more tips on how to start a conversation with just about anyone, check out our previous video. Next up, you're not fun. Picture this. You're in a room full of people you don't know very well, and they don't know you. Most people would feel a degree of discomfort or tension in this situation, and that's where being more fun and having a sense of humor comes in. Humor is a great icebreaker and can dispel social tension like nothing else. The ability to laugh at ourselves and make others laugh is a skill that, when mastered, can arguably have the most positive effect on your personality. Being funny comes from a place of confidence and the ability to not take things so seriously. From this confidence, you can be riskier in the way you interact with people, and your easygoing attitude will be infectious. Additionally, this is where Seligman's learned optimism from earlier in the video can help. Being more positive can help us to be more confident, which also gives us the ability to have a better sense of humor and makes us more fun. Increasing your capacity for fun, humor, and laughter greatly enhances your personality. If you're interested in this topic, why not take a look at a previous video that picks apart humor in more depth? The next one is a big one. Your personality sucks because you're trying to be someone else. When former President of the United States Theodore Roosevelt famously said, "Comparison is the thief of all joy." And he was right. Comparing yourself to others and trying to be someone you're not is a surefire way to make you a less positive, confident, and happy person. If you're caught up analyzing, even subconsciously, what moves other people are making, what they like or dislike, how they spend their time, and so on, the time you spend on doing those things is being stolen from yourself. Let's look at Teddy Roosevelt's life as an example. Roosevelt had a vast range of interests and achievements throughout his lifetime, and this helped shape his unique character. He was known for his unique cowboy persona and how he fought for what he believed in, which ultimately resulted in him becoming the youngest president of the United States. If Roosevelt had been using his time to compare and analyze what other people were doing, he wouldn't have been able to carve his own path like he did. So if we can learn one thing from Roosevelt, comparing yourself to someone else or trying to be someone you're not won't get you very far. Our next point in why your personality sucks is that you don't listen. Now, this may seem counterintuitive, but hear us out. Literally. If most of the conversations you're having are small talk, surface level, uninteresting, and shallow, then you're not truly listening. Psychologists have studied listening to others actively and what this does in return for us on an individual level. Carl Rogers found that actively and sensitively listening to others will bring about personality change and development. So, what is active listening, and how can we do more of it? The first step to listening to others better is to stop making the conversation about you and instead really take in what the other person is saying. Aiming for a conversation ratio where you are listening 75% of the time and talking the other 25% will ensure you aren't making the conversation about you. Curiosity and interest in other people can go a long way. Another way you can listen better is by actively asking questions and really listening to the answers you're given. The more questions we're asking, the more curious we are. Well-known ancient philosopher and teacher Plato said that the right question is usually more important than the right answer. It's this curiosity and willingness to listen that'll make your personality more interesting and well-rounded. That brings us to our last point, self-acceptance. The main thing here is that personality is subjective. And as much as we can poke fun and say a personality sucks, what matters most of all is that you're comfortable in who you are and your unique character. You'll only get to this level of comfort and confidence in yourself if you accept the foundations of your personality and love yourself, despite any perceived flaws you feel you have. It's a great thing to strive for improvements, but it becomes difficult if it comes from a place of not accepting yourself for who you are. Everybody has unique and interesting attributes, and using these to our advantage is where the magic happens. Take Jim Carrey, for example. At age 15, Carrey performed his comedy routine for the first time, and it didn't go well. He had completely tanked his first time on stage. After this moment, Carrey could have thought of himself as a failure. He could have vowed never to get back on stage again. He could have thought of himself as unfunny and not destined to make others laugh. However, he didn't. Carrey was completely undeterred. Instead of self-doubt, he accepted himself wholeheartedly. And a year later, when he was only 16, he quit school to focus on his dream of pursuing comedy full-time. Moments like these are defining moments in a person's career, and from them comes strength and self-acceptance to move forward. Jim Carrey chose to accept himself and move on with determination rather than dwelling on a setback and obsessing over it. It's this unwavering self-acceptance and resilience that not only makes your personality more interesting, but will be a defining factor in your success in life. And that ends our deep dive into personality. Comment below what personality trait you think is most important. As always, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.